Listing and contract activity usually go in the opposite direction week by week. And this week they didn't. But we're also going to share some winning offer insights that tell a completely different story from our internal data this week. So it is a really unique market right now, and that's what we're going to cover in this week's report. As always, thanks for taking a few minutes to join us for our weekly look at real-time market insights into our local housing market. My name is Scott Parker. I'm the Vice President of Sales and Marketing here at John Green Realtor, and I'll be taking you through our findings for this week. As always, we start with new listings for the 4 counties we track, and you can see after a really encouraging uptick last week, we saw a pretty big dip in new listing activity this week, which was a little deflating to see. We were hoping we'd see that trend continue to tick up. We could use the inventory. Here's under contract activity, and this is where the data was pretty surprising. We had a big uptick in new listings last week. The market has been very competitive. Rates actually ticked down quite a bit at the end of last week. So it felt like really prime conditions for a contract activity uptick. And we actually saw, as you can see here, a bit of a dip. So it's challenging to pinpoint any trends this year. And I will say the overall Chicagoland market did see an uptick in contract activity. So we'll see what next week brings. We're going to continue to watch this stuff very closely. Let's go look at showing activity. So great forward-looking indicator because those showings today are buyers that are active in the market. And as soon as they can put something under contract, they will in the upcoming weeks and months. And you can see showing activity fairly flat week over week. Interesting to look at the dark blue line there, which is last year, because this is when rates really started to move upward. And you can see that flattened the traffic curve when typically you'll still continue to see traffic numbers continue to rise as we head into late March and April. So interesting trend there, but that was something I noticed and I thought I would point out. So with that said, on contract activity, listing activity, and traffic activity all kind of being down, here's some insights from our internal data that show this past week the average offer price grew to 1% over list price, and 80% of contracts went under contract at or over list price. So we're in this kind of weird state where overall contract activity and showing seemed to lose some steam last week. But if you were a buyer this past week and wanted to offer on a home, you certainly weren't feeling that. So that's why we do this report, because those insights are incredibly valuable and oftentimes really, really, really fascinating. Here's off-market activity, which represents those active listings that decide to come off the market without a successful sale. We saw a big plummet this week. Still no homes being removed from the market because they aren't selling, which is a sign of a really healthy market, of course. Here's a graph that depicts balance in the market. So on this graph, 60% would kind of be a normal balance in a marketplace. 100% would be way out of balance. Even with contract activity being off more than we anticipated, that still outpaced the big dip in new listings that we saw come to market this week. So overall, the trend still moves towards a little less balance this week. Here we add in off-market activity, which we had very little of, and so no off-market activity makes this number jump as well. So really interesting week in the data. We saw a little bit of slowdown in traffic activity, contract activity, and new listings, but we did see prices and kind of those multiple offer market insights tell us that prices are moving in upward direction, and 80% of homes went under contract at or above list price. So very, very interesting insights. We continue to watch the data very closely. Thank you so much for joining us this week, and we'll see you again here next week.